Tomorrow, Fed Chair Jerome Powell will be delivering a speech, and in this speech, he is most likely going to address the start of quantitative easing. And on today's update video, I am exactly going to discuss what this means for, of course, the upcoming period in the market. I'm gonna talk about the rate cuts we're going to get in 10 days from now on, what this historically means for the Bitcoin price action, because yes, historically, whenever the rate cuts tend to come, at least in the last few meetings, we have seen major drops in the price action on Bitcoin. So is this going to repeat itself yet again, or is it going to be different this time around here? I will be going over it on today's update video. I will be discussing my Bitcoin trading setups. I'm going to talk about this Bitcoin bear market and how basically this cycle is just exactly the same like all the previous ones, how I'm currently preparing, and so much more. So don't forget to once again slap all that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And let me jump straight away in today's update video. So first of all, right now it is still weekend. And if I'm looking back at the last 8 weekends, we have seen every single Sunday a slight little pump here. And of course, today it's Sunday, so I wouldn't be surprised that we're going to get something very similar this Sunday around here. But basically, usually during the weekend, there's just low volatility, low price action, and low volume. And that is personally why I don't really trade during weekends. However, I do have a broader plan here in this bigger accumulation range and in this bigger consolidation phase on Bitcoin. And that is, of course, this trading setup either for a short position on Bitcoin on the top side, or this long position either on the lower side right here, which is corresponding with the big level of previous resistance on Bitcoin. And I explained this trade already in multiple videos before. I explained it also in the VIP Telegram group here. And by the way, if you are interested in potentially joining the VIP Telegram group here, or potentially copy trade me here, you can do so in my private Telegram group here in the second link in today's video description. You can copy my exact trades over there. So if you are interested, check it out in the second link in today's video description. But further on, I am just waiting and I'm just being cautious and patient for me to enter this next position. So we have seen Bitcoin took a very big hit towards the downside. Then it bounced from this very important zone of previous resistance, now flipping into support. We got rejected from the previous yearly open. And yeah, basically we are currently waiting for that next move to happen on Bitcoin. Ultimately, we have seen the bounce from off the weekly upper sloping support line on the total cryptocurrency market cap. And if I'm going to be looking about what is going to be most likely happening in the coming days here, we do know that tomorrow there's going to be a very important speech from Jerome Powell. And in this speech, he is likely going to address the beginning of quantitative easing, or better said, the end of quantitative tightening. And quantitative tightening is basically the period where the Federal Reserve, so the global money supplier of the United States, is going to start expanding its balance sheet again here. So they're going to basically start stimulating the economy again here. And usually whenever that happens, whenever they're stimulating the economy, it tends to cause Bitcoin and all other assets to rise in value, since there's going to be more money in circulation. But just like in 2019, sometimes it can take some time for this to really take effect on the Bitcoin price action. But it is all in all a very bullish development, which we're going to get here. So this speech is going to be happening tomorrow on Monday, and a lot of volatility is of course expected. Then also, in general, we're going to be having a very interesting week here for all markets, because on Monday we have, of course, that quantitative easing that is going to be ending, the Powell speech. We're going to get a lot of data, which is most certainly going to cause a lot of volatility on the markets. On Thursday, we're going to get the jobless claims, the US trade deficit, and also on Friday, the PCE inflation data. And all this data is going to be also influencing the decision for whether we're going to see another interest rate cut, or potentially maybe 2 interest rate cuts here. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be exciting. And historically, if we're going to be looking back at all the times Powell speak, the market has dropped here. And especially during the periods where we are going to get rate cuts. Historically, people have been thinking, okay, whenever we're going to get rate cuts, we're going to have a very big bump here. But actually, if we're looking back at the last 3 events here where the Federal Reserve decided to cut the interest rates, we've actually seen a bump into the event and then a dump following days later. And this is so far once again happening. We're seeing a pump in towards the event. And of course, the interest rate decision is going to be on December the 10th. And whenever that decision is going to come, we are once again expecting there is going to be most certainly somewhat of a dump here, because at least this is historically what always has happened. So that is going to be very interesting. Also, the fact that every single time in Bitcoin's entire history, whenever November is a red month, December is as well. So is this meaning we're going to get a bad December? I mean, of course, maybe not every single time it has to be the same here, but this is at least what history is currently telling us. So yes, some very important data points. Of course, we are seeing that there's a lot of liquidity laying above us. And like I also mentioned in my previous videos and for my trades in the VIP Telegram group here, yeah, there's a very big possibility that Bitcoin is going to be running it all the way up to our about 107, maybe 106,000 US dollars to see this previous level of major support flip into resistance and create that lower high, which could be mark the beginning of the Bitcoin bear market, right? So these are things I'm definitely taking very seriously. And of course, if you are interested in trading yourself here, the best exchange out there, in my opinion, is WeX. They're offering a very good bonus with right now a 25% fee rebate by signing up an account using that first link in today's video description. And also, you will be able to get a 50% future bonus on your first deposit by signing up an account using that first link in today's video description. So if you are interested in trading on a safe and reliable exchange, make sure to check out WeX in the first link in today's video description. Then further on, this is of course what I discussed on yesterday's video, but I want to be mentioning it yet again on today's video, is this 100 weekly moving average. And I mean, if we're looking back at all the times here, back here in 2015, whenever we broke below it, we saw a 50% correction. Then in 2018, whenever we broke below it, 40% correction. Here, 2020 as well, 42% correction. Here, back in the bear market of 2022, whenever we broke below it, 57% correction. And now, of course, so far we have seen a bounce from off this level. But I do want to be warning you, whenever we are breaking below this level, historically, it has told us we are going to see such a massive correction. So honestly, I would always be prepared for Bitcoin to do these kinds of things there, because Bitcoin, of course, likes to wreck you. And oh no, if this is going to be happening, it's going to give us once again a big opportunity. But let's say Bitcoin is going to fall down towards about $50,000. It is going to be a tremendous opportunity to accumulate Bitcoin at a very fair valuation. So yes, I personally hope it is going to be happening. Why? Is because then I can open up very good long trades again here on the bear market bottom. And ultimately, the most money I make here in crypto is always by, of course, longing the bear market bottoms. And I do believe right now it is not the bear market bottom yet here, but whenever we are going to see the bear market bottom, I will, of course, notify everyone out there on the channel that I am, of course, accumulating these positions. So very exciting periods are going to come here, and big opportunities are going to align very shortly. So for Ethereum as well, we are bouncing basically from off that golden pocket Fibonacci entry. And ultimately, I think Ethereum is just going to be following the Bitcoin course. And in my opinion, this heat map is a very good one to basically show to people that don't really understand trading or the market that basically if Ethereum goes below $1,600, in my opinion, it's going to be unlikely. But of course, as we're entering the unlikely stage here, I think it's going to be a very great time to be accumulating ETH over there here. So that is basically my opinion. Everything below $1,600 is going to be a very great buy for ETH here. And yeah, of course, there's a lot of liquidity laying in that zone over there as well. This is, of course, where the big rally started. And if we are going to be able to be buying ETH over there again here, it's going to be a tremendous opportunity. So yes, truly for ETH as well, I just think it's going to be following the trajectory of Bitcoin. It really depends where Bitcoin is going to go towards. The 200 weekly moving average is currently trading around $56,000. I do think there's a very big possibility Bitcoin goes below it again here, just like in 2022, 23. And of course, as it's going to be going below there, it is going to be indeed unlikely, but it's going to be one of the best opportunities out there in the market. So yeah, this is the heat map I'm going to keep on using. And yeah, exciting times are going to come here for Bitcoin, for crypto. But anyways, this was it for me in today's update video. If you want to copy trade me, join the VIP Telegram group here. Stay up to date over there, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.